Phase 5, and Disney's hoping Ant-Man puts Marvel back on top. But could this be just like Phase 4? Ant-Man and the Wasp is just another box office flop? Let's discuss. What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you're here. And if you happen to be stopping by, you're brand new, what's up? How you doing? Stick around a while, but do me a few favors. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Then go next door, hit that bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button, and before you head out, drop a comment down below. If you're one of the regulars here, of course, I ask that you also hit that like button and also drop a comment down below. YouTube does love the comments. And of course, share the video out on all the socials. Okay, merch store is still going. This campaign, raising funds for the Stuttering Foundation, ends in about 3 more days. Make sure to grab yourself some Joker Voice merch. Also, I ask you to check out the playlist, builds up the viewing hours, and also check out those featured channels. Okay, so Wasp and Ant-Man, whatever mania is here. And there are folks who are really liking it. The reviews are kind of mixed. The folks who like it, despite the not so great opening weekend at the box office, and I'll get into that later, so definitely stick around. And some saying it's worse than the Eternals, so we got a big spread going here. Well, today I'm going to give you my opinion, which I know you've all been waiting for, since I watch stuff, so you don't have to. Now, as per usual, I will go through what I liked, what I didn't like, and then give a final opinion, just wrapping up the whole thing. So, without any further ado, let's get started. From this point on, there will be some spoilers, so you have been warned. Okay, things I liked. The cast is fine. I mean, Paul Rudd is returning as his MCU role. Him and Hank Pym, that being Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, Hope Van Dyne, also known as the Wasp, and Michelle Pfeiffer, who plays Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, and she is back as well. Jonathan Majors plays Kang the Conqueror. You would know him from the Loki series toward the end, where he played a variant of Kang called He Who Remains. And so they're all fine. They're all fine. Very solid performances, despite what the script gave them. And so again, kudos to the casting director over at who Marvel uses. That would be Sarah Haley Finn. The recurring character, but a new actress again. That will be Cassie Lang. This time is played by Catherine Newton. Like I said, she's the third actor to play this role, where she has replaced Emma Fuhrmann from Endgame. I just want to point out that between Endgame and this film, Cassie got younger. Just saying it, laying it out there. But as far as what I like, that's about it. I like the performances, despite what the script gave them. So, yeah. So, here we go. With things I did not like. The Quantum Realm. Despite it being completely volume, and it's kind of obvious that they're in the volume, my main issue with this is what I've been talking a lot about of current Phase 4 films, whereas the writers and the creatives seem to have forgotten previously established rules set in other films. So what I mean about the Quantum Realm with this, if you go back to Endgame, when Scott returns and he's talking to Cap and Natasha, when Natasha says, well, that must have been a very long 5 years he was stuck in the Quantum Realm. And he said, well, see, that's just it. For me, it was 5 hours. So there's a rule. So we have a framework of how time works in the Quantum Realm. A year equates to an hour. But here, Hope Van Dyne was down there for 30 years. Well, 30 years in our time would be 30 hours here would be I get it back. Hold on. Little 30 years on our end is 30 hours down there. So she's down there for in what how she processes time for a little more than a day. So she had time to fix Kang's ship, bang Kang, bang Bill Murray's character because she had needs, and raise a resistance. No, that's not possible. But the script needed a 30-hour gap in there. So don't ask questions, just consume product and wait for the next product. I didn't like Kang. No, this is supposed to be the big bad of the multiverse saga. They putting him on a Thanos level threat. Well, the thing about Kang now is this is early in phase bore and phase nosedive that we've already seen Kang twice prominently. The mystery and the looming terror of Thanos was that you didn't see him much. You saw him briefly you saw him in an end credits in a mid credit scene in Avengers. You saw him briefly in Guardians. You saw him in an end or mid credit scene in Age of Ultron, and then you don't see him until fully fleshed out. You don't see him until Infinity War. That's a long time, long mystery, but you always know that he's there and everything's moving toward him. Well, the problem with Kang is you've seen him in season 1 of Loki, and now he's the main antagonist in an entire film before you even get to the end of this saga. And I know some folks like, oh, but there's so many of him. That's what makes him so invincible. Well, these first 2 we've seen got dispatched rather easily. So he's really not a threat. If he can be dispatched by 1, the Enchantress by herself, and 2, a B tier character like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not a big threat, so bad characterization of Kang. And of course, it's got to be mentioned. We got the political messaging, and of course, MCU. I know the folks don't like that term, but get over it. It's a thing. So the big one, this is really, again, I talked this about how Scott Lang is a sidekick in his own film, which is true. This film is more about Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Janet, and about Cassie. Because Cassie, while everyone was blipped away, whatever, it's still a stupid name, the blip, while everyone was got dusted, she just took Hank's notes and happened to make a quantum telescope which is able to map the entire quantum realm. Because of course she can. No. Also, she constantly berates her father that he's not doing enough. Sure, he saved the world, but what are you doing now? I'd like to remind you that this is a far cry from that scene in Endgame, where Scott is the first person he looks for after he comes out from the quantum realm is to find his daughter Cassie, and the look she gives in that beautiful, loving embrace they have. There's more character there than this entire film. So having Cassie completely undercut her father and talk down to him really just diminishes what came before. Sad. Also didn't like the fact that, again, Scott is not the star of his own film. He's not the hero of his own film. Because it's not Scott that gets the big hero moment to finally defeat Kang. It's Wasp, after she saves him, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And it's not Scott who figures out a way to get back home out of the quantum realm. It's his daughter Cassie. Because of course. And cannot be said enough. This cannot be said enough, and I completely agree with Chris Gore. We need to drop the MCU and make Marvel male again. Completely agree with that. And this can't go on much further without being said. When Hank Pym, when the ants come back over to engage in the final big big battle when Hank Pym says, "Now, I know socialism is a pretty charged word, but we can learn a thing or two." Not so subtle messaging there. Oh, but this is the first MCU film being filmed in that's being getting a China release, so that makes Kevin happy. Oh, by the way, you good? He gets tired. Okay. So final thoughts on this. This is it's a safe bet that this film will be another box office flop. Its opening weekend domestically was a paltry $105 million. That is a far cry less than the previous two Marvel Studios films, Thor: Love and Thunder and Black Panther 2, Wakanda, whatever. And both of those made Thor: Love and Thunder, which lost money domestically, opening weekend made about 147 million, and Wakanda, whatever, opening weekend domestically made about 181 million dollars. So Ant-Man is already underperforming. Not a good sign. Yeah, when 6 of the last 7 films that came from your studio are flops, not good. Not good. So, is it worse than the Eternals? No, this film is better than the first 3 installments of Phase 4, that being Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals. Mostly because Black Widow was just a terrible film, and the familiarity with the cast of the Ant-Man films, you're less bored than you were with Shang-Chi and the Eternals. But, this film tried to be. It really did. But hey, these are just my thoughts. Turning it back over to you. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think this is it? Do you think Phase Nosedive is going to rebound from Phase 4 and it's going to bring Marvel back up to prominence? Let me know what you think. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. And again, just before you head out, remember to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hey, thanks for sticking around this long. I appreciate that. And I will see you on our next video, which will be Friday morning. Also, don't forget Friday night's Royal Rumble. That would be 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then also Friday, check me out right after Royal Rumble, going over to Cannoli Sasquatch, which will be at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I will see you guys there. Have a great rest of your week. Always have fun. Hashtag keep talking. And always keep that smile on your face. Toodles.